Taxa does have ultimate, they should have given it away as they're stacking everything up. Sizo making his way in, doesn't actually have level 6, gets ulted in. Coward now tries to find an opening. Inax gets chunked and gets a kill. It's going to be one hit for Exile. That's going to be the harsh lesson until Liam's found one. Bubble connects and they're looking to slam down on Exile.
Let's take a look at how this actually came to fruition here, because not looking that great here.
Just leave my face on him.
I'm timing my play top lane for Bulldog Esports, and this is my Illaoi guide. Why pick Illaoi? She's a lane bully. She doesn't have many bad matchups, she can completely snowball lanes, and can 1v9 games from side lanes. She has an ability to fight while completely outnumbered due to her ultimate and her tentacles. She's intended for the side lane and falls off in teamfights. Teleport plays aren't her style, but if you're an aggressive lane dominant player who wants to snowball from top lane, then Illaoi is a valid addition to your pool, and she's served me well. Illaoi's passive is Prophet of an Elder God. She will summon tentacles on nearby walls, which will slam her opponents when she uses her W and her E. These slams will deal damage based on the rank of your Q, and will heal Illaoi for 5% of her missing health every time it deals damage to an enemy champion. You can walk up to walls, they will spawn, it goes on a 20-second cooldown. There is a minimum distance between them. If you mess up a tentacle spawn, the only way you can get rid of them is if you walk far enough away, they'll deactivate, stay far enough away for 60 seconds, they'll go. The other way is having opponents kill them. Tentacle spawning is a crucial part of Illaoi's kit. Illaoi's Q has two parts. There is a passive part which increases the slam damage of your tentacles. This includes your Q and your passive slams on vessels and targets afflicted by your harsh lesson and your ultimate. The second part is that Illaoi will slam a tentacle in front of her, dealing damage and healing her due to her passive. Illaoi's W is Harsh Lesson. It's an auto attack reset. It will cause all nearby tentacles to slam on the target and will increase Illaoi's range for one auto attack. Illaoi's E is Test of Spirit. She sends forth a skill shot and grabs the soul of an enemy champion, transferring damage from the spirit to the enemy champion. If she successfully kills the enemy spirit, then the enemy champion will become a vassal for 12 seconds, spawning tentacles nearby and causing all nearby tentacles to slam her every 10 seconds. Illaoi's ultimate is Leap of Faith. Illaoi leaps up into the air, becoming untargetable, and then slams her idol back into the ground, spawning a tentacle for every single champion and spirit hit up to a maximum of 5. Illaoi's tentacles also become enraged for 8 seconds, increasing the speed on which they slam, and her Harsh Lessons cooldown is set to 2 seconds. As you can see, it gets kind of crazy, very fast. Illaoi has some neat combos that you need to be able to use in order to trade efficiently. The first one is an auto attack reset on the W, and it's simply auto attack plus W. This is even stronger when there is a nearby tentacle. Illaoi can use her W to angle her tentacle slams into other opponents. This is especially useful against range when you're trying to slam enemy champions through their minions. To get the most out of your spells and most damage, use E followed by an auto attack and then Q. Weaving in auto attacks helps with Klepto. The auto W combo can be used with E for more damage. After firing E, auto attack then W. This can then be followed up with auto attack and Q. It is important to hit both the spirit and the enemy champion with Q for increased damage. Illaoi's E ultimate combo is crucial for turning fights. Land your E first and then cast your ultimate. It's as simple as that. Follow it up with Harsh Lessons. The final combo for Illaoi is Illaoi's R Flash. Illaoi's R can be used to dodge in CC, such as Fizzle or Vayne Condemn, and can be combined with Flash to make up distance against ranged, especially after landing E. And that's all Illaoi's combos. Illaoi has high cooldowns and low base damages, so relying on her tentacles and minions in lane to deal damage for her is crucial until she gains some stats. Early on I aimed to trade and CS with tentacle smash at the same time, allowing me to maintain pressure on the enemy whilst not losing gold. This skill is crucial for any champion, not just Illaoi, as opponents will aim to pressure you whilst you CS. After a tentacle slam, if the opponent is retaliating, follow up with a harsh lesson, and depending on nearby tentacles and the ease of landing Test of Spirit either all in or in the trade. For prolonged trades, Illaoi will lose auto attack trades straight up. Unless she's landed Test of Spirit and has a tentacle nearby, she will just be hammered down by the likes of Jax and Tryndamere. Illaoi's weakest point are the early levels, such as 1 and 2, where she'll lose to all-in champs like Riven, Tryndamere, Jax, Irelia, and therefore you should look to avoid level 1 and 2 fights. Once you have tentacles and spells, shoving the enemy under tower with your Q and your W through minions, and trading at the same time, will allow you to create some serious health disparity under the enemy tower, which will then offer you safety should you get ganked, as the enemy laner will not attempt to fight a level 6 Illaoi and her tentacles when they are not full health. Harassing the opponent under tower and force them out of lane, then look to proc demolish for plating and recall. Repeat this process until the tower falls, or you can just simply dive the laner. Should you mess up and die during this period, so long as you have them under pressure, you won't be too far behind, and you can return to doing the same thing. If you're not able to shove and harass under their tower, you should opt to dial it down and freeze outside your own, and set up the wave so your jungler can choose to get you back in the game, should it be possible. The mid game usually revolves around Illaoi split pushing and taking towers in a winning side lane, or grouping up with the team and throwing her advantage round in a bullish fashion. In both cases it's likely you'll be fighting outnumbered, so set up tentacles as you stay in the side lane and understand what you can and cannot fight. It's not worth dying and giving over shutdown gold. You have high income, you'll always have bounties. Withhold E so it's guaranteed to land, so you can get an ult off. If you miss your E, do not ult until it's off cooldown and you can land it again. Fall off in the late game depending on her build. Her strength doesn't actually lie in teamfights due to how easy she can be kited. However, a good flash ult can change the game. Look to pressure a side lane in the late game whilst the team secures major objectives and you fight outnumbered 2v1 and drawing pressure. My current build is Kleptomancy with Resolve Secondary nearly every single game. I am aware of the Conquer and Domination build, I'll include that in a second on the next slide, but I have not really been testing it. The Klepto build tends to offer me a more dominant and secure lane phase with the ability to have more resources in lanes such as mana and health and magical footwear, which I want for money. I also tend to run Demolish systematically to take towers. Rushing Sterich Scades into Death Stance, followed up by either Black Cleaver, Trinity Force, Spirit Visage, Iceborne, Guardian Angel, Deadman's, the list goes on. There are many ways for Illaoi to tailor her build depending on the enemy team comp. A lot of players tend to rush Black Cleaver, but I've found the damage in the early game is similar to Steric's, as most champions don't have defensive items yet, so the penetration isn't as crucial, but Steric's offers the added ability of a huge shield, which really comes in handy when you're getting ganked and turning it around. Seriously, do not underestimate it. The only major downside to it is you don't get the 20% cooldown reduction from Black Cleaver. For further reference, I'll be doing a document soon-ish for matchups and talking about how certain matches are hard for Illaoi and how certain matchups are very easy for Illaoi. If you have any questions about Illaoi or you disagree with me, please send me a message on Twitter.